Welcome back to the White Gray Black Weekly Manga Podcast. My name is Bruce, the producer of the White Gray Black YouTube channel. With me again this week is Gautam.
Hello, hello.
This is a weekly manga book club where we talk about all the latest Japanese manga which are currently being published. This week we're going to have a little discussion, probably the biggest news around right now, and that's the One Piece live-action trailer, because that's big news. And actually, let's start with that right now. So, here's the One Piece live-action trailer. Just for your information, this is not a first-time reaction. Gautam and I have both seen this. I've seen it a lot. How many times have you watched it, Gautam?
Once.
Okay, I've seen it like 20 times. If that precludes our discussion, I'm pretty excited for this. So,
what was your, before we start, what was your general feeling on the trailer?
I want to say
before we get into it,
it was cautious optimism before the trailer. I would have said that the previous trailers left me feeling still cautious, but very optimistic. I thought that a lot of the tonal things in the past trailers, they got correct. I thought that the visuals looked good enough. I in general think that the core cast looks great. I think the creators who make this, I have heard interviews with them on podcasts. I think they know what's going on, and I think that if they fall short, it won't be any lack of passion or knowledge about One Piece. I think it will be other extenuating circumstances. I think it will just be how challenging it is to adapt something like One Piece into live action. But yeah, cautious optimism. What about you? How'd you go into before this trailer?
Before this trailer, I thought there were parts of the last trailer I enjoyed, but I was mostly not a fan. After this trailer, I am 50-50. There are some things that really look like they don't work, and there are things that actually look pretty great. But I've only watched it once, so let's go give it another run, see how we feel.
Yep, we're gonna go through it. We're gonna pause it as it goes, and then we'll react to it there. I hope the audio is good here. Yeah, it's good.
Well, Fame.
Okay, I'm going to pause it already. I pointed this out to you a couple weeks ago, but already they've got they have some cool, what's what I'm looking for? Little hidden things.
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs. There you go. I was like, it's called like teacups or something weird. Easter eggs, yeah. Who's that on the right side in the green there, who we know is present at Roger's execution?
Yeah, that's tight. I did not even notice Dragon was there. Yeah.
It's cool, yeah, and there's a bunch of little things like this that people have been finding that I think is really cool. So yeah, the fact that they have Dragon here and they show it is pretty neat. I think I might pause it one more time here in the starting section because I think there's a scene where we see also Buggy and maybe somebody else.
I found everything this world has to offer.
Let's go back like 1 second. How do you feel about the way that Goldie Roger looks here?
I think it looks good. I think he looks great.
I think in general, all of the visual design and the casting choices here are pretty good.
He is perfectly scruffy, like a pirate, like disheveled. I mean,
he's very scruffy, and
disheveled.
he's minor spoilers for One Piece. He does die here. It is the opening scene of One Piece. He does die here.
Whoa!
But we know from others flashbacks that he was on his way out anyway. He was sick of. I don't remember if it says exactly what his sickness is, but
they don't specify.
Yeah, he was sick. So I kind of like that they make him look maybe like a little bit more sick here. So cool. Let's go.
Free yourselves. Take to the seas. My treasure is yours to find.
Here's Garp. What do you think about Garp?
He looks good. He's a handsome old man. I think this guy needs more disheveled scruffiness because Garp is a complete slob, just like Luffy, who's like munching all the time, has like a scruffy beard, scruffy hair. I think he's a little too put together, but maybe it's just because it's an execution.
Well, and it's also, this is what, 25 years before Luffy goes on his journey.
The thing is, he always looked like that. He always looked like a scruffy dude.
I think he looks a little too modern, in my opinion. Garp always. I agree with you. I think his hair should be scruffier here. He's like, oh, I've got a modern undercut for the modern man. And
he's groomed. He's too groomed, I guess.
He does look very groomed here, which I don't know if I enjoy that. But let's get back to it.
But no, the actor seems good. He's good fit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Is this? See?
So what do you say?
Laugh is good.
Are you
The
with me?
Elokita's good too.
Mutiny. Why would anyone want to be a pirate? This is the best thing there is. Wind in your back. Salty sea air. A loyal crew by your side.
I'm gonna stop it right there. We saw some cool stuff. We saw Luffy's barrel. I know that when we talked previously, I think it was on the podcast, the last couple of trailers, I talked about how they looked visually kind of boring, very Netflixy, right? Where it's like, oh, just put a camera there. Who cares what the angle is? This trailer did a lot for me to fix that point of view.
I think they went all out showing their stuff in this trailer.
Yeah,
so.
This one felt much more refined. I mean, obviously, I think this trailer was made sort of like, okay, the show is ready now. And I think the other ones were probably cut before the show was ready. So, yeah, but I mean, a lot of the visual stuff here with like this shot between the boats, I think is great. I mean, even this shot, and especially the shot where sort of the red stuff is rising, like this. I mean, it's cool. This is cool and different and visually interesting, which is definitely what One Piece should be. So,
yeah, agreed.
Cool.
By your side. It's ready!
What is it?
Or Jolly Roger. We are the Straw Hat Crew. We're heading up to the Grand Line.
A treacherous stretch of ocean with bigger islands, bigger pirates.
Okay, we're starting to get
Mihawk's sword.
Yeah, we're starting to get some character stuff. Yeah, we see all the Straw Hats there. The reveal of the Jolly Roger is great. That's always a fun moment.
I'm the classic shitty Luffy drawing Jolly Roger design. I love it.
I do think of all the main cast, who I think I love all of their castings. I think they're all doing a great job from what I've seen. Iñaki Godoy, who is the actor for Luffy, I feel like is perfect casting. I actually could not imagine anyone else, anyone being better. He feels so goofy and so earnest. And I think as long as he nails the sort of raw emotional moments, which we'll see later in the trailer, I think he does. I'm very happy with the cast. I think it's the same thing.
He might be my least favorite so far.
Man. He feels so...
But I'll go into it later.
I think
it's not.
Yeah. I think that a little bit of translation has to happen when you go from manga to real life, obviously, to live action. And I think that the way that he has translated Luffy from... I'm trying to think. Luffy is like 100% an idiot in the manga. Like, he's just stupid as hell. And that's what's endearing about him, is that he's stupid as hell, but he's also always looking out for people and always doing what's right. I don't think that works in live action quite as well. I don't think having your main character be, like borderline annoyingly idiotic works. So I think the sort of happy-go-lucky, earnest, I think leaning into that, which Iñaki, the actor here, is doing, I think that works for me because I think that is the correct translation to make from manga to live action.
Here's my perspective, and I worry I come off as overly negative, but I'll keep it short so we can keep playing the trailer and not get into a long tangent about this. But I think Oda writes Luffy perfectly. In Dungeons and Dragons, for example, you always want to play the character, and Oda does that in writing Luffy in such a consistent way throughout the series. This character does not feel like Luffy to me.
It is a little bit different, which is what I was kind of talking about, is that I think when you translate to live action, you cannot
I understand
just
that,
put the raw character on screen. But yeah.
Luffy is easily one of my favorite, probably my favorite character in One Piece. I think it might be close with some moments with Zoro, but it's Luffy. So I feel like if you're not getting Luffy on the screen, that'll be an issue for me. Though I've only seen a handful of lines and a handful of clips, so I don't know. It could be great. So let's that's my thoughts on it so far. Let's keep going.
Cool. But yeah, we saw Mihawk's sword. This is, I think, a reveal Buggy's crew. This is, I think, Buggy behind. I can't remember.
It's Captain Kuro and Usopp's girlfriend's butler, whatever his name is.
Oh, is that who that is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. So I wonder. So then they're rearranging some stuff. Buggy and Usopp might happen at the same time then, because these two didn't interact normally.
No, this is that's not Buggy behind him. That's Captain Kuro behind him. The cat guy.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a long time since I read East Blue.
Also, that arc wasn't very good. So
I mean, strictly speaking, East Blue is like the worst part of One Piece. It was still good. I still enjoyable, but like.
Also, like
up until Arlong Park. Yeah, also Usopp's arc is like, whatever.
It's just like, okay, right? Yeah.
I mean, I think I told you, I did not like Usopp until I didn't like Usopp until he leaves the crew completely, and then the completely new character, Sniper King, comes in.
Oh, yeah.
And then after Sniper King leaves, then it's like, okay, Usopp is redeemed now for some weird reason. Okay, let's keep going.
I liked Usopp before that, but it took a while, and I think that was Oda's intention, because he made a intentionally very cowardly character.
Right.
But anyway, let's keep trucking.
And that's where we're gonna find the One Piece.
You've been making enemies everywhere we go.
Chop, chop, cannon!
I love that.
We have to.
It's so fucking goofy and awesome. I love that.
I was definitely wanting to talk about this part because Buggy's actor understands what is being asked of him and is leaning into it 100%. And if you don't commit 100% to yelling "chop chop cannon," that doesn't work. And I think that works for me when I see it on screen. So I think
that was great. No,
I think
that
moment alone sells a lot to me, right? Because it's like, okay, Luffy's yelling like "Gum Gum Pistol," and I think it was in the last trailer. Maybe I was like, I don't know, maybe that one was not great, not perfect. The Buggy guy yelling "Chop Chop Cannon," that works. He's in it. He knows. He's like, I am a clown man in a clown series, and if I have to commit to this 100%, and it works so well. And I thought that the CGI actually looks pretty decent.
Yeah, and for a character who's like kind of defeat in that arc is Nami kicking him square in the nuts. This works.
Yeah,
it's so totally perfectly goofy. It's fun.
Yeah, they also avoided. You can see kind of on the bottom of his legs here, where his legs have detached. There's just like a white thing. Part of what we've talked about in the past is that so much of One Piece, if you just translated it 1-to-1 into live action, is body horror. Like, especially Buggy, Luffy, a bunch of this stuff is literally just body horror. And I like that this is like a little scary, but it's also. It isn't like there's no gore, right? You aren't like looking into his muscles and bones. They've just sort of like marked it off. I don't know. I'm excited. Yeah,
that's fun. I like that.
I think people hopefully will like Buggy the most when they see
Buggy's like my favorite part of the trailer so far.
Buggy is great. One of the best parts of One Piece in my opinion. The arc that he has gone through in the last almost 1100 chapters is.
I'm just such a fan of the trope of characters failing upwards.
And
we're
going to talk about that later, but yeah.
Encapsulates that in spades. So.
Yeah, Buggy's one of the best upward failing people for sure. Cool, let's go.
Luffy, they are hunting you.
I saved your ass. What? I saved your ass.
I'm going to pause it for
that. The Fishman from Arlong Park was in Bharati.
Yeah, I think so this is only 8 episodes. It's 8 about hour-long episodes. I think that most people were guessing 10, but with 8, they're going to push some stuff together. And I assume that it's going to be Arlong's crew is going to show up at the end of Bharati, and that's probably when they take Nami back, or Nami rejoins them, whatever, and then the crew will chase from there. And
I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Establish like characters versus like the MCs versus the Fishman a little early, so the fight in Arlong Park has more meaning. Even though it already had a lot of meaning, it did feel like Sanji, Zoro, and Usopp just got paired off with a random Fishman at point.
Yeah.
I think establishing these side characters early is a good idea. Also, this guy looks great.
I think it
like
looks
his
good.
makeup,
Yeah. I mean, this is another thing that I think works about the show really well is that there's a lot of practical stuff. Like they're standing in a fully recreated set of Baratier of I'm going to say Baratier. That sounds French to me. That's Barati, whatever you want to call it. The cooking ship. Yeah, and he looks great because he's mostly practical effects. I think almost everybody is mostly practical effects. And I like a lot. Where was it? I think the ship stuff looks good. The actors look good. The choreography here, I'll play it real quick again.
Luffy, they are hunting you.
Guy, save your ass. Well, I saved your ass.
Yeah,
That looked good.
Yeah, and Sanji, like it's so weird to think of like, oh, you have to choreograph a guy who does not attack with his hands. He will only kick. And it's like, can you make that look good? And it's like, yeah. And I've seen, I can't remember the actor's, this actor's name, but I've seen some of the like Instagram posts and stuff that he's put up, and he trained a lot, and he's doing some cool stuff. So
Yeah, it shows. It looked great.
yeah, they've got here at the end, we see the Sanji Zoro rivalry, quote unquote, starting, which I think is good.
I like this. I like this scene coming up.
Yeah, it's a lot. So yeah, let's keep watching then.
You'll have to excuse them. They're idiots.
That was great. Yeah.
This cool.
Yeah, here's
That's
like
so fun.
Here's a look at some of the live stuff. Yeah, I think it's good. I have to call out again, which I think I did earlier. I love the music in this so far. All the trailers we've seen, I've adored the way it sounds. It has that Pirates of the Caribbean, high adventure, big C music score that's just hitting, and it's like really good music. It isn't just like a generic like, oh, compose this to Pirates of the Caribbean and then do a shitty ripoff of it. It's like, no, this is like legitimately good symphonic music going on in the background here.
It sounded good to me.
Yeah.
On my end, I love the redesign of the ships. Look at how fucking awesome Barati looks with the window of being the eyeball of the fish, and the redesign of the Going Merry. I think the redesign is a good idea because the Going Merry works in One Piece because One Piece is Looney Tunes and it has a very specific aesthetic, but Going Merry doesn't translate to live action as well if you don't change the little baby toy face of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and again, this shot here that we're looking at, they built the Going Merry and it looks like a real
Yeah, they built the
little
Barati
deck, and they built Barati, and that's what we're looking at here, right? Like, I think maybe this top part of Barati is CGI, but everything else is like real and captured, and it would not. I don't think it would look this good. Like, look at the fish face on the left of Barati, how like weathered the panels are, and how they don't look like. Oh, it's behind my face, maybe, but anyways, but you can tell that it's not like CGI. Just almost never gets that kind of touch unless you have like a really good artist behind it. So.
They should make this an actual restaurant after filming is done.
I promise you, maybe not promise you. I want to bet after this comes out, somewhere in Japan, someone will like get. I think they maybe deconstructed the set because they had used the same set for multiple takes. But I saw them building this. I bet that they build something like this in Japan.
That'll be
Just
tight.
like, you want to eat it at Barati? Here you go.
They had that last time I went to Tokyo One Piece Tower, but that's closed due to COVID. So hey, opportunity.
There you go.
Bring Barati here.
Cool. Let's keep going.
Our crew can handle anything.
I'll do you the kindness of killing you all together.
You're my captain.
Good pause.
Now.
I hated that.
You don't like Arlong. Is that it?
No, I think he looks awful and he sounds awful.
Yeah, it's tough. He's clearly acting with prosthetic teeth, which is difficult for any actor, I would say. This is not my favorite part of the trailer, I will say. I think he looks okay. Where is the scene of him like coming through the door? Like, this again is kind of the hardest part, right? Is that Oda in the manga is able to take a character, a Fishman character that maybe looks a little whatever, and just be like, oh, he's 20 feet tall. And that immediately is like, well, now he's more physically intimidating. And One Piece live action can't do that, right? Tallest guy are going to get 7 feet probably. So, this guy's this guy looks really tall anyways, but,
I just think it just doesn't work. I don't like how he looks at all. But I like the other Fishmen, so I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
I have to see Hachi. Have they shown Hachi yet?
I don't think so. That's the octopus guy, right?
Yeah, octopus guy.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen him. No.
Okay.
But that will be interesting. I'm a little tentative on it. I will be interested to see how they make him physically intimidating and how they make him fight, because I'm trying to remember. He like schools Luffy and throws him into the ocean, right? Like the first time they fight.
Yeah, and the Fishman that was in Barati that was shown earlier. I think he drags Luffy down to the ocean. Sanji has to go save him and fight that Fishman.
Yeah. So
something like that.
Yeah, we'll see about this. This is one of the harder things I think to execute. So how do you make a Fishman look intimidating, sound intimidating, and put him in an action scene? I don't know. I agree with you. This is definitely not my favorite part. I'm gonna hold till I see more of it, because it could still work.
Yeah, maybe it'll grow on me.
I definitely think
not a fan so far though.
I definitely think in this trailer they've given him sort of the most generic, stereotypical kind of like, these are my badass evil lines. But Arlong is much more of kind of like a schemer, greedy kind of like a mob. He's like a mob leader, right? Kind of like,
he's very much a corrupt mob boss. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm interested. I think that if they can nail that to where he's more of an intimidating force because he's got this posse and he, took control of Nami and made her work for him and stuff. So we'll see.
It sounds like a guy doing a voice, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I think that's it's the prosthetic teeth and it's really hard to act through. So I wonder if they do some ADR, maybe that's waiting on that, some dialogue recording.
I'm not sure. I doubt it since we have it in the trailer, but maybe it'll grow on me. Who knows? Maybe it was just a bad line or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I gotta say, this is the sort of classic, this shot right here. I think Luffy looks great. I think Zoro looks great. I think Nami looks great.
They all look great. Yeah, it looks
good. Cool, yeah. Let's keep going from here then.
I don't know when this scene is, but yeah.
I'm gonna kick your ass, because no one messes with my friends.
Okay, bunch of stuff just happened. So this is where
I'm liking Luffy more on the trailer rewatch, to be honest.
I think, yeah. I think you're gonna be sold on him. I think he's great.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It really comes down to, for me, is how well can he do angry Luffy and yelling Luffy, because Luffy yells a lot.
He's very much sort of like...
He's a loud person.
Yeah, he is definitely like a loud person. I don't know how much that will come true. We do get a little shot here, if I can find it real quick. Yeah, it's like 2 seconds long, and I don't remember how to navigate on YouTube, but you see... yeah, here it is. You see Arlong with his like fisherman's sword.
Shark tooth sword or something.
Shark tooth sword. Yeah, and this
whatever
is cool.
It's called.
Yeah, because this is cool, because that's like I'm glad that this is in the show, because that's a very One Piece, like, no real sword should be shaped like that. Like, no one would that's a stupid as hell weapon.
Chop Cannon earlier, so I believe that they're fully bought into the goofiness, and I'm about that.
For sure. I thought that, yeah, the Arlong Park being destroyed. Clearly, this is their fight inside. We see the like iconic spoilers if you've not read One Piece. Go read 110 chapters. We see the sort of like iconic like Luffy, will you help me? But it skips the thing, and we've got this. I think I'm already hyped for this. I get chills looking at this because this is like. I think I've said it in the past.
It's so funny you said that. I literally saw this still frame and I got chills because that scene is so emotionally resonant for me. It's so good. It's so good in every way.
Yeah, I've said this in the past, but this moment when reading One Piece was the moment that I was like 100% bought in that this is more than just a fun, decently well-written adventure story. It's like, no, okay, it's even better than that. And this moment right here is great. And I think Emily Rudd is great. Like I'm hyped for this.
We'll have to see. This whole arc is Nami's acting chops displayed, so I'm looking forward to that.
I hope we get. Do you think they will make Luffy sleep through Nami explaining her backstory, or who is it that explains her backstory? Her sister or whatever.
Yeah, her sister Bellamere explains her backstory, and Luffy just like walks away because he doesn't need to hear her backstory because he's already bought in. You know.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Yeah, I think they do. That's so hype.
It is a funny, good gag. So
it's like not even a gag. It's like he just innately has faith in her. And I thought that's like, I don't know. That's good writing. That's tight, and it speaks to Luffy as a character.
Yeah. Let's keep going. Here we go.
That's because no one messes with my friends.
Mihawk looks good.
Yeah, I think Mihawk's great. Let me go find. What do we got here? Action.
Luffy's power
Here we go.
will take some time for me to get used to. I'll be honest.
We'll get to it. I think the last thing we showed here, I liked it there. Here's Shanks. I think we talked about this a little bit. He looks a little bit like a deadbeat dad who walked out when.
Yeah, and Shanks is a deadbeat dad.
And I was going to say, and he's kind of supposed to be. I think everyone. I saw a lot of people online, some discourse around the appearance of Shanks. He's supposed to be unassuming. His power is he's supposed to be kind of this like lazy kind of deadbeat. Oh yeah, red hair Shanks, blah blah blah. I think I think it's good here at the start to have him represented like this, so that if we get later, it'll be. I mean, in season 11, when he finally shows up at the end of Wano to be a badass, he'll be like, oh okay, Shanks is a badass.
Even the first chapter shows him to be a badass, but
sure.
I think it was very clearly intentional that he is just an alcoholic hobo, right?
Yeah.
We all love him, of course, but what were the expectations for people? He looks fine.
Yeah, I think he looks fine. I
think a supermodel would have been worse.
Yeah, I think if you make him too good looking and make him look too like, oh, look how stylish red hair Shanks is, it doesn't work, because you're right. He's supposed to just kind of be he's supposed to be much more of the typical pirate captain. He's kind of the other side of the coin to Blackbeard of the typical pirate captain, right? Blackbeard is sort of like aggressive, fat, sloppy, and this guy's just sort of like, good-hearted, good-natured, but still a drunkard and very much about camaraderie and all that stuff. So yeah, I think it'll be good. Let me see. Usopp, I think, looks great. I love...
Yeah, he looks great.
I'll mention it here. I think we mentioned this on the last one too, but all of the costumes that they wear are costumes...
I love his shirt. That's what I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, well, and this shirt is something that Oda drew in one of the color cover pages, 20 years ago or whatever. Because I think every single costume that the Straw Hat Crew wears in season 1, that has been shown in trailers at least, all of them are taken from a design that Oda drew in one of the color spreads, which I think is just like excellent. Like, you don't need to design more costumes. You literally just look at Oda's been drawing these color spreads with them wearing wild stuff for years and years. So yeah, just look at that.
I do wonder if they're going to change Usopp's character a bit, because he is such a huge pussy for this whole arc, everything they're adapting, and we haven't seen much of Usopp or his lines, I believe. So I don't know how they're gonna do his character, but this actor looks cool.
He looks great.
So
for sure.
No, I mean, like, I'm wondering if he can play Usopp as a gigantic wuss well, because he doesn't look like one. Which is totally fine. I think he looks the part, but I just wonder, like, is he going to be snotty and crying and
my guess is stuff? They'll move up a little bit of his development that he gets. I guess it's in Alabasta, right? Where he first is sort of like, I have to fight, I have to help. I think him and Chopper.
It was in Fishman. It was in Arlong Park.
Is it Arlong Park where he first fights?
Yeah.
And I think that might be where this is taking place. But yeah, my guess is that he does start sort of cowardly, but I think that we'll see a lot of jumping back and forth of like, oh no, a fight, I'm gonna run away, and then it's like, I gotta go back and help my friends. I think we'll get a lot more of that because that's sort of the character he
Cowardice
is.
is at the core of the character. Yeah,
For
so
sure,
you need that. So I'm just wondering. I'm curious to see how the show handles it.
Yeah. And then we see, I thought this was a good action scene. We see Mihawk here. I think Mihawk looks great.
Yeah, he looks awesome.
I think we get, people were complaining about his contacts here. I think it's cool. I think there's Fishman in this. A dude with weird yellow eyes. Who cares?
That's a dumb complaint.
Yeah.
No. It looks fine. It looks great.
Yeah. And I'm very excited for Zoro to get absolutely schooled and for Mihawk to just be like, sorry, kid, try again. Like,
nothing personnel, kid.
Yeah. Does it show? Yeah, here they are like actually going at it, which looks cool.
Oh, nice.
Clipping through it. Yeah. This is
episode 1.
This is clearly episode 1. Yeah, I think CGI in this looks really good so far. I think the Sea King looks awesome here.
Yeah. So far, so good. I wasn't impressed in the first trailer, but this one really did impress me.
Yeah, and I think it just looks good. I don't know. It's looking great. Some more cool Sanji stuff. Kicks and stuff. Okay, so I just want to watch this part where Luffy does the punching real quick again, because I think it looks interesting. I kind of like the way that looks. It's about as good as you can get.
I don't think it looks bad. It's just going to take getting used to, because I'm not used to seeing it in live action.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it looks good too. It's just weird. It's just weird for me right now.
Well, and that's when we talked about this 2 years ago, whenever they first announced they were making this or whatever. That's kind of it was kind of a big hang up, was like, One Piece is just weird. Like, how do you put it on screen? So maybe, I think if they figure out a way, which maybe they have, and this is why I'm so kind of positive and why I've watched it so many times, is that I watch this and it feels right. Even the punching there, where it's like, yeah, if you kind of slow it down or watch it twice or think about it, it's like, yeah, it looks a little weird, but it's also like, yeah, but it is really weird also in manga. So
it feels a little off to me, but that's not to say it's bad. It's just that I have watched a 3-minute trailer, so I haven't had time to adjust my brain and body to this yet. Right.
I think you make a good point there of, it's hard to fully immerse yourself into, okay, this is the world, this is how things look, because I think if the imagery is consistent with all these powers in the world, it'll be fine. I think the worst thing will be if something sticks out, right? And this maybe sticks out a little bit because, again, it's a trailer, but yeah. Cool, let's finish it off.
No, it's just weird seeing a real life Rubber Man.
Yes.
At the moment, yeah, so... Either way, I don't think it looks bad at all. I just think this one, I think a few of my earlier complaints, I don't know if it's a matter of getting used to it or not, but this one, I think it is just a matter of getting used to seeing it on screen.
Yeah, and I think that hopefully the show will introduce us slowly enough that it will make sense. So,
just throw us in, man.
Cool, let's finish it off.
Just shows Rubber all the time.
Yeah.
What's so special about you?
I'm Monkey D. Luffy.
I did like that.
And I'm gonna be king of the pirates.
Music is so
I didn't know there were so many pirates.
Okay, hold on. We have to pause here.
I know, right?
Yeah, we got it.
First of all, Bellamy. Okay, here. There's the... He looks like Homelander a little bit. I love it.
He looks like a cocaine Homelander.
Yeah. No, he looks awesome. I love that Wanda poster. Let's go see if we can spot any others real quick.
It's Bellamy. I believe it shows. Is it Alvida?
Alvida, I saw.
And then I think, Alvida. And then this is
Foxy. Hey, Foxy's here.
Foxy. And then I think the first. Yeah, here's Alvida. And then Alvida, Cavendish is down here on the bottom left.
Yeah. Hey, cool.
So like everybody that shows up. Is that everybody shows up in East Blue?
Cavendish doesn't even show up till Dressrosa after the time skip.
Oh, geez, you're right. Yeah. I didn't even think about that, but yeah. There's somebody I can't tell who's.
That's
this might
Foxy,
be Foxy again.
Alvida.
I think it's Foxy again. Yeah. But I mean, so again, Easter eggs here, wonderful.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Go back to the posters. Warning: careless talk may
help the enemy. Do not discuss.
Okay. not sure.
Pirates spread disease. World government. Public notice. Cavendish. Beware. Anyone can be a criminal. Do not lower your guard. Yeah. I mean, this is just. It's funny.
Yeah.
Stuff. Bellamy. Pirates. No. If you're a victim of piracy, something.
Yeah, that's all cool. It's all good stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I think these are the fact that these are like real kind of weathered posters stuck to this board looks great. But yeah, how do you? Let's see. Punches, darkness. Here we go.
Wait, let's wrap up the trailer with the final lines with Kobe and Luffy real quick.
Yeah, okay. Let's finish it out.
All right. Where's my face?
Hey, go. That's
Okay. Can I instantly retract one of my opinions?
Which one?
I liked Luffy a lot more on this rewatch of the trailer.
I like his yell here on top of the boat.
Yeah, that
works
was
for
good.
I think that's exactly what you're talking about. Can he do the sort of highs?
Yeah, you're right. He does have the energy. I think it is just me being prejudiced towards. I like. Sorry, that sounds like I was going to be racist. Hold on. This is just me loving Luffy as a character, and
we are protective of the things we love, and we don't
yeah,
want to see
exactly.
them brought down and disappointed. I mean, like, boy,
he has the energy. You're right. He has the fun-loving energy of Luffy. I'm now just let's see what the writers give him. I just want to see what the writers give him to work with.
Yeah, I think it'll work here. This is what's this guy's name with the jaw?
Iron Jaw, something or the other.
He's a Marine
it's
guy,
during the
right?
Zoro.
Yeah, it's the Zoro arc Marine guy, and you see him. That's this guy, right? Doesn't he have the axe hand? Is it like axe hand?
Oh yeah, Axe Hand Morgan.
Is that his name? Yeah. So that's maybe you can see his jaw over there. Yeah, Axe Hand Morgan. I thought this looked good. The special effects here.
Yeah, that was great. I like
again,
that.
it's weird, but it's supposed to be. So
yeah.
He shows us the spoilers is the climax of or the resolution of Arlong Park. Or Luffy.
One thing I noticed is that there was a scene where Zoro, Luffy, and Nami were in a square in Axe Hand Morgan's little marine base.
Yeah, that was back here.
It seems like they introduced Nami into the crew earlier in the show.
I think what they'll do, what it looks like is I think Nami is going to show up alongside Zoro, because her normal introduction was in the Buggy arc, right?
It was in the Buggy arc, yeah.
Yeah, which is like a little like 8 chapter, maybe not even 8 chapters long, with like and one chapter is wholly dedicated to a dog. So,
right.
Yeah, my guess is that she shows up here. He tries to recruit her. The climax happens with all 3 of these. This is probably episode 2, right? Like the entirety of episode 2 and maybe 2 and 3. But because with 8 episodes, it's probably episode 1 is backstory. Luffy gets picked up and fights. What's her name? The big girl.
I think this can be done in one episode.
Yeah, I think this is one episode. The next he gets to the island, finds Zoro, lets him out. This is where they will probably swap stuff up. He meets Zoro, lets him out, joins him, go gets his sword, meets Nami somewhere in there. That's all episode 2. Episode 3 is probably Usopp entirely. Episode 4, I don't know. Maybe now we're moving too fast.
No, I think it's Buggy before Usopp, right? Or
you might be right. Yeah, it's probably Buggy for an episode, then Usopp is episode 4 or 5.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
And then it'll be...
And then it's Sanji.
Yeah, and then it'll be, Barati, and then probably last 2 are all both Fishman Island. Does that make sense?
Arlong Park, as it should be. Yeah, that makes sense.
Not Fishman Island, yeah. Yeah, let me skip to the post time skip.
And it looks like they cut out the Treasure Chest Man chapter. Good.
Garbage. I hate both of those guys that have showed up. The guy that shows up in Whole Cake is also weird. Or is it the same guy? I don't remember.
No, it's a different guy. I truly did not like that the Treasure Man guy chapter.
Some things
Treasure Chest guy.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for the group the group shot. I think One Piece has one of the greatest, like, I don't even know what you call it. Like it's almost always a spread panel in the manga of like, it's the whole crew and they're on screen. And I think that, the Inez Lobby one where Luffy tells Usopp to burn the flag down, and they're standing up there, and Robin gives her "I want
That's
to
the
live."
best one.
That is probably maybe the best. Well, both in and out of context, one of the best group shots ever. I love this group shot here. Also, I think it looks
Actually, that's my second favorite group shot. My first favorite group shot is when they were leaving Alabasta and they put up their arms with the X's on it.
Yeah. That's also a good one. Man, I gotta say, this has got me excited. If this man, I'm at a loss for words. This has to get a season 2 because Alabasta is like the real cream of the first like quarter of One Piece, right?
I agree. Alabasta is like I think Arlong Park is a phenomenal arc, and it kind of shows you what One Piece can be. And then every other park is like a 9.5 or above. It's like it's like banger after banger after banger. And then you take a jaunt and thriller bark for a bit, and then it's banger after banger after banger, you know?
Yeah. And also, like, I gotta say, I think Crocodile's the best villain of the, like, easily of maybe of the first half of One Piece. Like, up until the, what's the island? Up until the Ace stuff.
Yeah, and then Blackbeard shows up, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Blackbeard is good, but Blackbeard also isn't, like, he doesn't really, like, fight anybody, so he's not really, like, an adversary. You know he is, but he isn't. But, yeah, Croc is easily the best bad guy. I think Robin is great. I think her, like, switching allegiances, going back and forth is... I just think, like, just the plot of Alabasta and the setting is all, like I was saying earlier... Arlong Park sold me on like, okay, this is actually a little bit more than just like a fun romp, a fun adventure story. It's actually legitimately really good. But Arlong Park goes down as the like, okay, not only is it even more, it's like a lot more.
You mean Alabasta? Yeah.
Alabasta. Because Alabasta is like, the entire arc of Alabasta is like 80 or 90 chapters long, and it's insane. It's so good. So I really hope we get there. I'm worried about Chopper, but I'm not worried about anything else in season 2 because I think if they get, it'll be, we'll get.
You want a hot take? Just don't include Chopper. Don't fucking include Chopper. I don't see any universe where Chopper works.
I don't know. Yeah, well, I'll have
a little CGI reindeer following them around. I don't know. No, I don't like it. Don't do it.
I think there's two options. I think it's a puppet, or I think you literally cast someone to play Chopper, and you say, well, he's got a human fruit. He has to look human sometime, right? So
can I just say I hate both of those options. I think
puppet would not work. I think a puppet would be great. I mean, like
I
Baby Yoda-ish. I don't know. I could see a puppet. I could see a puppet and CGI mix working. I don't know.
If you're going to bring One Piece to the real world, just don't put Chopper in. I like Chopper, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't fit. It's like when Cowboy Bebop put Ed in. Ed is like one of my favorite characters in Bebop, but that is an anime character that does not work in live action.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think they will do that. They will get torn to fucking shreds if they don't put Chopper in One Piece.
He's the mascot.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm excited. Nico Robin's one of my favorite. I think her power also is another one of the like weird ones that can be really cool on screen. So
yeah, that would be interesting. Man, you are right about like the body horror aspect of all of this. I didn't even consider it. Yeah. But I noticed that I haven't seen Johnny and the other samurai guy. I think that is a good cut. Not that they're bad characters. I think they're fun, but they are kind of irrelevant. They know Zoro. They're pirate hunters, and they were dying of scurvy. They took him on board the Going Merry. Nami gave him some of her oranges, and they got cured. And they were guarding the door to Arlong Park, so the villagers can't go in and die to their death. Like go to their deaths to Arlong.
Yeah.
And then Luffy steps in, of course. By the way, let's talk about Kobe. I don't think we mentioned him. He looks great. I think that's like such good Kobe casting.
Yeah. And I can't wait to see in 10 seasons when this guy now must be buff and
I think it works. Like it really, I think it works because like all you got to do is remove the glasses. The kid already, I don't know how old he is, sorry. He already has a jawline.
He's 20,
to play.
He definitely looks like, if he works out for a little bit, he'd be.
He's a handsome guy, right? Yeah. Like you just take off the glasses, like Kobe has no glasses now.
Yeah.
And change the hair, and the rest of him works, right? You just
he's
buff
also
him up with
like
it.
his acting also to me like his physical presentation and the delivery of his lines feels like he's being very
it's great.
nerdy. He could change that up easily. So yeah.
No, yeah, I think Kobe is great. Like they're all great casting. You're right.
Yeah.
How old are these guys? Are they like 20?
Iñaki, I think, is 20 or 21 now, like maybe 22. Everyone's in that range. I think the Sanji actors may be a little bit older. Is it Emily Rudd? The Nami's actress, they're all sort of early 20s. Makinyu, the actor who does Zoro, is I think like 24, 25. Let me see.
Then I hope the casting for Robin is maybe like a 30-year-old or like a 20.
Yeah, I mean she should be, right, like because they're all
she's
supposed
older,
to be
right?
sort of early 20s, late teens, and then okay, Taz Skylar is 27, 28 it looks like, so maybe he's a little bit older. But yeah, definitely I think they should pick like a early 30s person because she's supposed to be very motherly. But yeah, I mean, so that's
or
it.
mature, yeah. In general,
mature in general for sure. Yeah, I mean, she comes. She is very femme fatale when she first comes across. So that's
she is
older. So okay, this is my 21st time watching it, and your second. So how do you feel again going through it a little more detail like that?
Good actually. I don't know if it's just because I watched it with you or if I just enjoyed Luffy more, but I enjoyed Luffy more. I think you're right. He does have the energy. Aside from that, I like the rest of the casting anyway. I like the buggy part anyway. I still think Arlong doesn't look great or sound great, but we will hopefully see more out of him and fix that opinion of mine. And if not, oh well.
Yeah, and I think this lives, from what I've seen from the previews, this lives or dies on if the script is good, right? Because we haven't really seen, okay, can they chain together, the story points that Oda created? Because that's really where Cowboy Bebop live action, I mean, granted, I only watched about 20 minutes of Cowboy Bebop live action, but that's because it was just that bad. And I thought, watching the trailers for that, I thought the characters looked good. I thought the visuals looked pretty okay. And Cowboy Bebop should be one of the easiest things to bring into live action, and the script failed them there. The script was awful. The script was childish and goofy and not goofy in the correct type of way. Characterization was bad. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I came into this cautiously optimistic. I leave this, I think, like a lot of people, very optimistic. I think this is going to be big.
Well, I went from cautiously pessimistic to cautiously optimistic.
There you go, which is a pretty big jump. That's kind of under the 50% line to over the 50% line. So yeah, I'm excited for this.
I'm excited too, regardless of my poo-pooing here and there.
Yeah.
We got to watch and talk about episode 1. Well, I guess the whole series drops, right? It's not Netflix.
I think so, yeah. But I think so. For those of you listening or watching, our plan is that we're going to do, I don't know how many videos we're going to split it into, maybe 4, maybe 3. But we're going to do a manga podcasters react to this when it drops. We might just record it all one weekend, or it might be 2 or 3 weekends, because this is coming out in exactly a month, essentially.
Do you think we should do like a live reaction like we did on this, or do you think we should just talk about it after the fact?
We can't, because we can't upload a Netflix episode onto YouTube.
Oh, true. That,
if we could,
I forgot about legalities.
But yeah, no, we'll have to do it post. We'll have to do it post release. I think probably what we'll do is we'll do either episode 1 or episode 1 and 2 together, and then maybe one more grouping, and then the Arlong Park stuff at the end. That's kind of what I'm feeling in my mind now. But it might be, we might want to do 2, right? It might end up being like intro, Zoro and Nami, Usopp and Buggy, and then Sanji and something else, and then Arlong Park at the end. So, but yeah,
that sounds good. We'll see how the arcs fit together too. Yeah, and
we'll see how the episodes break
out. That sounds
out.
good.
So Yeah, so look forward to that. That, I think, is going to be our next sort of book club read through. We'll do that for a couple of weeks after Nausicaa, because I think our Nausicaa will end like right when this comes out, or maybe a week before. So,
yeah, true. That's good timing. Accidentally.
yeah, it is. Cool. So,
And for those who haven't seen the Nausicaa read through, even if you don't watch it, go read Nausicaa. It's just so fucking good.
it actually,
I know I'm plugging Nausicaa over stuff we made, but it's so much better than everything ever. It's a very good movie.
I haven't seen the movie, but I can just tell you, based on the way that people talk about Nausicaa compared to the other Ghibli movies, that the manga is probably just like better than the movie. Like, then the movie I think is pretty good, probably. So I haven't seen it, but I'll see it eventually. So,
as a huge Ghibli fan, and like Spirited Away is my favorite, and I enjoyed the Nausicaa movie when I watched it however many years ago. I will say, if they adapted the Nausicaa manga, and I've only read half of it, if they adapted the Nausicaa manga one for one in animation by Studio Ghibli, I think it would be the best one. It would
literally
be,
animated
yeah.
there so far. Yeah, unless he misses a landing somehow, which it just doesn't. I just don't.
It did.
I somehow don't see it happening. The Nausicaa read through we've been doing.
Right?
Yeah. So three parts are out as of you listening to this. The fourth part will be coming out later. There are 7 total parts. It's really good. So cool.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on the One Piece trailer before we move on?
Nope. That's all I got.
Let's take a short break real quick, and we'll be right back with the rest of the show. Welcome back, everybody. We have a little bit of manga news to talk about. Asato Mizu, he was the mangaka of Aharon-san wa Hakaranai, which ended, 2 months ago, a month and a half ago? They're going to be publishing a new one-shot titled Osananojimi Yurei to Shinitakari Otoko. My Japanese is very bad, and I'm reading... But anyway,
Osan means old man, right?
Sanajimi Yure to Shinitagari Otoko. Yeah, something like that. Wait, hold on. I can drop it into Google Translate. This is my thing to do. This is childhood friend Yurei and suicidal man. Yeah, I don't know how accurate that is, but suicidal man maybe doesn't seem accurate for this author, but who knows?
Oh, who knows, actually.
Actually, yeah, no, Shinitagari, because Shini is like death. Shinitagari Otoko is like death something man. So yeah, maybe it is suicide.
Weird.
Interesting. But that's going to be coming out August 4th on the Shonen Jump Plus app. So that's 8 days from the time of this recording. If you're listening to this next week, in about a week, that'll be coming out. So I'm looking forward to that. I liked Aharon-san a lot. I am interested even more now that I've Google translated that title.
It's so weird. Yeah, I don't know what to expect. That sounds bizarre.
Yeah, now that you think, oh yeah, it'll be a cutesy little thing, and I translate the title, and now I am not sure what we're going to be getting. But yeah, hopefully those Jump Plus, a lot of those Jump Plus one-shots are actually really good, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, and Aharon was awesome, so yeah.
Yeah, Aharon's very comfy. So next piece of news here, there was a big interview with Tatsuki Fujimoto that just came out, and there's a full translation of that you can go and find. The big part that I thought was kind of interesting that I wanted to chat about briefly is that Fujimoto says that he wants to eventually be like Asa Akasaka, who is the author of Kaguya-sama and Oshinoko, and he wants to only write stories in the future and not necessarily be a part of the art of them. So what do you think about that, Gato?
I think it makes sense. I mean, I like Fujimoto's art, but he is clearly an incredibly weird and good storyteller. So, and I think there are a lot of immensely talented artists out there who would be happy to jump on one of his projects. So, I don't know. It seems like a perfect fit. Good idea.
Yeah, I also think it's a good idea. I also hope that we don't lose him doing sort of storyboard and panel layout and stuff, just because I made a whole video on how Fujimoto's visuals are very inspired by movies and stuff, and I think it would be a big loss to have someone else executing on his ideas that are not quite in tune with that visual style. So I do hope that if he does say, okay, I'm going to go and be just an author, he doesn't give up that sort of visual design side. I hope that he would still be involved with, character designs and stuff like that. And I don't know how involved Aka is with that stuff in Oshinoko, for example, but it feels, I don't know, a lot of it still feels pretty Aka to me, even though I think Mango is also a very good artist. So, but I do think, I think that if he can find somebody who sort of vibes on the same level as him and has the same visual style, I think it could be good. I would love to see, oh God, here's a match made in weird heaven, potentially hell. I would like to see Fujimoto and Boichi. How do you feel about that?
That would be tight. Honestly, I think it would fit really well.
I think it fits pretty well. Yeah.
Because I do think that Dr. Stone's weirdness and Chainsaw Man's weirdness, I mean, they're not the same, but they're not that dissimilar, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that works great.
Yeah, and I think the other part is I think Boichi is an artist who has, I think, a similar visual style to Fujimoto in the sense that it feels very cinematic and very sort of not over the top, but that kind of larger than life kind of style a lot of times. Fujimoto is a little bit more small scale. I think Boichi is a little bit larger scale, but yeah, I think that would be a cool combo to see. So
I think the only hard part is that Boichi's a commodity, right? Like or wait, hold on, that's not the right word. That means expendable. Boichi's,
no, commodity is right. Yeah. I mean,
okay, yeah, he's like a rare product. Pokemon.
Yes.
It is hard to get him because he is so like sought after. He's so good. The dude is an immense talent.
Absolutely, yeah. Boichi,
we'd be talking about him more if
he published anything. And I don't think anyone is fan. He did start a new thing, but I don't think the fans translators have grabbed it because I think an official release was announced. I don't remember. But he does have he's got a one shot coming in somewhere, I think. But I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye out for it. Let's see. Next up, one of our little babies here, Kindergarten Wars, which we both love, is now 6th place in the Jump Plus rankings. So that's incredibly high because it is the only thing that are above it are the hyper heavy hitters, right? The 5 things that are above Kindergarten Wars now are Spy Family, Chainsaw Man, Kaiju Number 8, Oshinoko, and Dan to Dan. And those are like except for Kaiju Number 8, which has kind of fallen off. Those are all exceptionally good. And then Kindergarten Wars is next. And I think Kindergarten Wars, honestly, I think it's going to keep climbing. I think Kindergarten Wars...
It's earned its spot.
It's so good. And the recent chapters, man, if I feel spoiled over here in the West because we've been getting 3 chapters a week for like 2.5 months now. And it's like getting a larger chunk of story like that feels so good, especially when it's weekly. And I know that I think we're almost caught up, but man, these last couple of chapters, the last 2 sets of 3 chapters have been really good. The last chapter was so goofy. The love stuff is great. I love Kindergarten Wars. I'm super excited.
Me too. Yeah, we discussed chapter 1 when it came out on this pod, and my worry, and like chapter 8 or whatever, my worry that it would be like a one gag type of manga where the only gag was that all the hot guys she finds suck or have like a differing opinion. She kills them. A good gag, but I thought that would be the only gag because that was like the first 6 or 7 chapters. No, it proved me wrong. It's not a one gag manga. It has a lot of gags and they're good. It's really fun.
It has an overarching plot. We have a little mystery around who this girl is. Yeah,
it has romance.
Yeah, and I think this. I get big Spy Family vibes from this. I mean, Spy Family fucking exploded when the anime came out, right? Like, it was already very popular, but its sales, like, I'm trying to think, it had something like 4 million volume copies, and then the anime came out, and in like 2 months, it had like 11 million copies or something out. I think this is going to do similar numbers, right? I think we see an anime for this in about a year, maybe a year and a half, and I think it'll explode. I think this has broad appeal. I think it's funny, goofy, good action. It has all the kind of same appeal that Spy Family does, where it's like it's
missing one thing. It doesn't have Anya.
It doesn't have Anya.
That's why it won't hit that high, but it will hit high.
It does have the little girl, though, who I don't remember her name, but she's introduced way later. So with the whistle.
The whistle girl. Yeah.
Yeah. A big rest in peace, big namaste to. It has been 1 year now since Masaoki Shindo's Ruri Dragon went on hiatus. Yeah.
That's such a bummer.
I wonder what has happened with that, because that...
I don't know.
It came and we got 6 or 7 chapters and it went and we have not gotten any news. So I don't know if this does not.
As much as I want more chapters, like I do. I think Guru Dragon was good. I thought it was actually pretty unique for what it was too.
Yeah.
But I feel more bad for the author than anything. The big break that you always wanted and you get really sick. That's such a bummer.
Yeah, and I mean, so it has not been canceled or removed. But yeah, I mean, it's weird, and we discussed it. I want to say we discussed it maybe when it was canceled. Maybe I don't think on the podcast, we weren't recording it then, but at first it was maybe they fell under physical harm or health reasons or something like that. This feels like something else, right? This feels like obviously some momentous event happened and makes them unable to work, or who knows?
Or maybe serious physical harm.
Yeah, or
honestly, there's no info, so it's all speculation.
Yeah,
but I hope they're okay.
Yeah, we don't want to speculate on people's health too much, but I hope they're good. I think when this comes back, it'll be a big splash again. I hope it does come back eventually. I think it will, but we'll have to see.
Hopefully. Either way, I know Jump has a spot for it because it's still early enough on that you can just
start again.
Drop it again. You can just start it up again.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, it did crazy numbers, so...
Yeah, it did. It was like top on the app for every time it came out. So, but hey, the one shot still exists. The one shot's still really good. Speaking of one shots, last little piece of news here. We talked about One Piece most of the episode. So Ichiro Oda's he wrote a pre-One Piece one shot called Monsters, and that is getting an anime adaptation. I think as a movie is the last that I heard. And when this was announced, I was like, oh crap. And I went and read it. Did you read this again, or have you read this?
No, I remember reading, oh God, what was a short story collection? Whatever it was called a while ago.
His short story collection.
It's called Wanted, yeah. A long time ago, but I truly don't remember any of it. So.
Yeah. This is a good, neat little story. I think it's going to make a great little movie. It's nothing like spectacular different, but it's got interesting characters. It's got a couple of twists and turns. It's got a cool big action set piece thing going. This will be a fun little thing when it comes out, I think. So, it definitely showed me, because I had not consumed anything pre One Piece from Oda. Wasn't sure, like, is he still practicing? Does he understand how to tell a story yet? It's clear to me he wrote this, I think, in 92 is when this initially came out. One Piece started 96, 97, I think is when it was published. But, and he still knew how to tell a story at this point. So he has always known how to tell a story. And, Monsters is really good and really interesting. So.
And Ryuma looks like a prototype Zoro.
A little bit,
Before Oda changed his art style a bit as One Piece went on, like Zoro at the beginning of the series, he looks exactly like that.
Yeah, the premise of this story is like a bunch of years ago, a dragon attacks an area. This samurai guy, this swordsman who's supposed to be like the second best swordsman. There's one other swordsman who's said to be better than him, who like the king. The king is supposed to be the better swordsman. This swordsman guy saves this girl. They're kind of in the town, and a dude shows up and maybe calls the dragon back, and stuff goes from there. So it's really short, really easy read, but it's really good. Like I said, has some twists and turns that you might not expect. But yeah, so look forward to that. We'll get that. I think that's next year. We'll get that. So
neat. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Cool. Let's talk about one more thing we did this week. Close off the stuff. Gavin, you want to talk to me about, this is One Punch Man. What chapter is this? 213?
I don't know. New One Punch Man chapter.
New One Punch Man. Chapter 189. That's what it is. Yep, 189. So tell me about One Punch Man chapter 189, because it's hilarious.
It is one of my favorite chapters from the One Punch Man webcomic, and finally it's in the Murata version. No action. It's just King bullshitting his way through situations.
Yes.
And I mentioned the failing upward trope when we were talking about Buggy earlier. King is also like one of the best at this trope. It is so fucking funny. I have nothing to say, just read it. It's just a really good chapter. I got a kick out of it.
I put the kind of gag pages in here because it's so good. But King, he just He asked him to cut the apple. This is the best thing. The man performed the supernatural feat of slicing the blade through gaps between the cells. To think that there were others. On top of that itself, the blade itself hasn't even realized that it has been unsheathed. It's so funny. It's such a good gag too.
It is such a good gag. It's absolute horse shit, and I love it.
Yeah, one is a great author. Anything else you want to say other than go read One Punch Man 189?
I think one loves characters like Reagan and King.
I was about to say,
like,
a lot of comparisons to Reagan from Mob Psycho here.
Yeah. No, nothing else. My other one more thing is just your one more thing.
Oh yeah, so we went to go see. Oh, of course it's tiny. We went to go see the Barbie movie. It's excellent. It's hilarious. One of the funniest movies I've seen in a long time, actually.
I had a great time. I went in with no expectations, and it was a blast.
Yeah, excellent feminist propaganda in the most positive way I can say that. But yeah, super good.
Yeah, I think this is like. This is probably Gosling's funniest role, tied with that one thing where he's in Other Guys. Yeah,
Other Guys is very good. Also, yeah. Ryan Gosling. We talked about this a little bit. Ryan Gosling and Jake Gyllenhaal are the two actors who I think have almost have consistently chosen very dramatic roles. Who I think are actually the two funniest motherfuckers in Hollywood. Like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal existed.
If you just go search like Jake Gyllenhaal funny interview or something, you will get some of the most hilarious interviews you have ever seen. Jake Gyllenhaal is like so on top of it, so funny, legitimately, and he doesn't do comedy.
Is he the High School Musical guy?
No, Jake Gyllenhaal was in
I'm thinking of
Nightcrawler. He was.
Yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay, yeah, I was thinking of some other dude.
I'm trying to think what else he was. He does mostly dramatic stuff, but.
Right. Okay, got it. Yeah, he was
a prisoner. If you've ever seen that,
Brokeback Mountain. Yeah,
Brokeback Mountain. Yeah, exactly. So, but cool. Yeah, definitely go see Barbie. Don't miss it. Pay attention to it. It's a very important movie, I will say.
I had a lot of fun watching it.
It's also fun. Yeah, it's nice that it is. It is not preachy, though it is preaching, and it is hilarious. And I appreciate everything that I have to say.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's preaching, but not preachy. And that's a hard line.
Yeah, it is. And it's one of the few movies I've seen that really pulls it off. It has something to say, and it says it, and it's important that it says it, and it doesn't feel insulting or belittling to be on the other side of it as a man. So
yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that's it for the show, Gautam. Anything else you wanted to call out or say to the audience here?
No, I like pedantically talking about One Piece. That was a lot of fun. Yeah,
we just very, very, very excited. Looking forward to when that comes out. So
yeah, well, we'll keep you guys up to date. Once it comes out, we'll give you our shit takes on One Piece.
Yeah, there will be reaction videos. So look forward to those. Thanks everybody. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the podcast, you want to support us, give us a like or a follow, any type of positive reinforcement. We like those. If you really want to help out, you can head on over to Patreon at patreon.com/WGBmanga. I usually say check me out on Twitter, but I guess you can check me out on the website X at WGBmanga. We'll not address that. And hopefully pretty soon we can just say Twitter again. As always, thank you so much for being with us this week. Please come back next week. You can say goodbye now, Gautam.
I forgot. Sorry, I was listening to you. I forgot I was a part of this podcast. Yeah, see you later.
Thanks so much. Don't forget to read more manga.
I start like listening to you, Bruce, and I forget that I am also a member here.
Yeah.
That's so stupid that happens.